Yeah, doing well.
We're going to start here and start off with a moment of silence.
I know as we come this morning that in the back of our minds, even in the front of our minds, would be what has been going on in the midst of us. And so before we begin this morning, we thought we would have a moment of silence to remember not just the victims of this recent time, but all of the victims of violence and murder.
Thank you. I'm going to turn to Vicky right now. Who's can give us a bit of information on Springfield, and then Rashida will take over.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Nikki Garrett, and I used to be the head of properties and facilities for the Bermuda National Trust, and I am an architect. So I'm going to give you a little bit of history about the context of Springfield, the house, and also the context of Bermuda, when Bermuda was founded and when it was built, and in terms of emancipation. So welcome to the free Emancipation Walkabout. And I'm going to start by saying, way back when, in 1503, Juan de Bermudez was shipwrecked here and passed and saw Bermuda, and that's why Bermuda is called Bermuda.
Good morning, everyone. And as Nikki shared a lot of the architectural and heritage history here at Springfield, the property again was in the historical records from the 1600s right up until the 1900s by the Hinson, Hunt, and Gilbert families. And during the time of enslavement in Bermuda in the 1600s, again, this property, as Nikki said, was known to have at least 19 enslaved people here. So between 1827 and 1833, the British government made its British colonists, including Bermuda, to start taking registers of all the enslaved people that were in the British colonies, because they were also not only going to give emancipation, which was a type of freedom to the enslaved people, because it came with much restrictions, but there was also going to be a payment made to those enslavers. So first we have Polly, female, colored. She was a domestic, 86 years old. Deborah, female, colored, domestic. She was 59 years old. Tony, male, colored, laborer, 28 years old. Tom, male, black, laborer, 16 years old. Ezekiel, male, colored, laborer, 14 years old. Francis, female, black, domestic, 17 years old. Sam, male, black, carpenter, 40 years old. Dick, male, black, mason, 35 years old. John, male, black, pilot, 40 years old. Jim, male, black, pilot, 20 years old. Thomas, male, black, boatman, 12 years old. Harry, male, black, domestic, 12 years old. Anthony, male, black, sailor, 25 years old. Brister, male, black, sailor, 35 years old. Prince, male, black, mechanic, and domestic, 31 years old. Thomas, male, colored, boatman, 18 years old. Brister, male, black, sailor, 43 years old. Anthony, male, black, sailor, 28 years old. Those are the 19 enslaved people who were registered at this property by the Gilbert family during the time of enslavement, and their names were taken just before emancipation was about to take place here in Bermuda.
The owner, Henrietta Durant, ran a boarding house on the upper level. There are two names I want you to remember for later: Mr. Isaac Henry and Mr. Victor Scott. They both were residents in that boarding house. The cup match team was selected the week before, usually on the Thursday, which meant for Ms. Durant, that was time for preparation to begin. There was a pig to be slaughtered, chickens to be killed, puddings to be made, cassava and coconut to be grated, dried apricots and apples to be soaked for fruit pies. The ginger beer was made in large casks, which were later transferred to clear fifth bottles purchased from Gunson. So I'm sure you know what those fifth bottles are used for otherwise. The bottles were corked and tied down the string to prevent it from exploding. On a lot of land opposite St. Joseph's Church, which is up on the corner, Mr. Whitecross slaughtered the pigs, killed the chickens. The pigs were skinned, the chickens plucked. Once ready, the pork and the chicken were cut into very small pieces and graciously seasoned with salt, pepper, and nutmeg.